Welcome back to the Disguised Horse. I'm Matt, and we're starting off 2024 with my most controversial video ever. Here's the top 5 YouTube car content creators. Now you might be asking yourself, Matt, what do you have all this cool stuff behind you? But we're talking about car content creators. And well, this is a project, an ongoing project that we're working on right now in the background, so don't you worry about that. But it's 2024, the start of a new year, and there's a lot going on around YouTube, and a lot of people who are trying to make content out there, like myself. Obviously, this is the #1 channel on the internet. But there are some really great content creators out there that I just genuinely look forward to watching. Now, this isn't a hit list or a hit piece or, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening around the internet. No, I just want to highlight some of those awesome content creators out there that you guys really need to get to and subscribe to, or you'll be missing out on great content all throughout the year. And luckily for you, they post regularly, and you'll always have something new to watch if you're into cars and you like seeing cool stuff on the internet. Now, starting off our list, I'm not part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club like in the Little Rascals, so we're starting off our list with one of the best content creators out there, period, dot. And it's Colette Davis. Her channel is so fun and interesting. I can't believe I slept on it for so long, because at first I was like, I don't really know, I don't really get it. But the more I watched her channel, the more she did super cool car stuff. She's using super interesting colors, like her roll cages are hot pink and her wheels are neon green, and there's like 3 shades of pink, yellow, and orange on her drift cars. And the best part is she's getting after it. She's not filming other people work on her cars for her. She's actually doing the work. She's there pulling the motor by herself. She's there setting cars on fire and then rebuilding them better than they were. And I just think that's awesome. And like I said, I can't believe I slept on it for so long and I didn't give her a fair shake. But when I did, I was like, this is a great channel. I love watching this because there's a lot of cool builds out there. But when you do powder coating that's ultra violent colors and you have like a bunch of different cars that are like that, it's like a super interesting shop to walk into. Now, like I know the old STI here is gray, but I would love for this to be like sunburst yellow or with white wheels and I don't know, maybe like a pterodactyl on it. And Colette is doing that. She's putting, I think it was called the Sailor 7, her FDRX7 was like neon blue and white wheels and colors all over. And I love that. That is awesome. That is so fun to me because, you know, you're like, oh, it's got to be period correct and cool and you've got to be super serious about everything. But she's so lively and fun that anytime there's a new video, I'm just like, all right, cool. I get to see cool colors, a good attitude, and a lot of work being done to cars with just her and her small team. So go check out Colette Davis. It's a really good channel, and I really hope you're hyped on it as much as I am. Up next is the Squid with 2 Ds. No, so the Squid's a little bit of a different channel because it takes a very different approach to car content on YouTube. I have a lot of sitting in my computer chair at work and grinding away at spreadsheets and ID10Ts, if you get that joke. But I do a lot of just computer work, so I always have something going on in the background and something to listen to. And I think this channel only started about a year ago, or from what I saw on the channel, maybe they were doing stuff before and then tried something new. But either way, it's only been around for about a year as their oldest video. But these documentaries are great. No, they're super good, and they're about 20 minutes long each, and it takes a very interesting look at how cars came to be and how cars came about. I was actually literally just listening to one while I was installing the new lights in the garage here, and it was the Viper and how the Viper came to be, and it's pretty dramatic. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like super lighthearted. It's very dramatic, but it's a great background for really kind of like diving into these documentaries. There's the Porsche, you know, Mazda. There's all sorts of different videos, and they're all great, from just the drivers themselves to the cars to just scenarios at specific times. Like, it's a really, really super good channel, and I highly recommend. There's a lot of interesting footage. I don't know where he gets it all from, and I'm like, where does he get all this great footage from? Because it's like behind the scenes stuff. It's footage from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and it's, you know, it's edited into a way where it's really fun and really easy to watch and really easy to follow. And I'm not the smartest guy in the world, and that's super fun for me and super great for me. So if you haven't checked out the Squid, Highly recommend if you've got time to kill and don't want to listen to a podcast, but you want to listen to a documentary in the background. You don't even have to watch the video. You can just listen to it, and you still get painted this great picture about great events in car culture. Bah! Do you get that meme? If you do, it's because you're a fan of the Donut Media like I am. I think I've been watching Donut Media since its inception, and it's just amazing. It is one of the best channels I've ever seen. I love James, Please Be My Dad, the Up to Speed, Nolan and his Mustang and his podcast, and just the whole crew is just a bunch of really awesome people, and they make some of the most interesting car content I've seen. Like I said, mentioned, their podcasts are great. They're about an hour long, and it's just a couple of buds goofing around, talking about great stories in car history. And their WRX series really probably launched my channel, because luckily the first video I made actually did well for me. It got like 20,000 views, but it was like my response, and you can watch it here. It's kind of stupid now to look back on it, because I don't know, they just had a bunch of WRXs blowing up, and I had just bought mine, and I was like, well, I think I can maybe clap back, but that was kind of I don't know, opportunistic of me, and not the finest. But that doesn't take away from how much I enjoy watching that channel. The high-low series, it's just all great. Their WRXs, 350Zs, Money Pit Miata, the E36 they built. It's all great. Like, I look forward to every video that comes out because they're so funny and interesting, and like the D-list is just hysterical. I can't get enough of this channel, and if you haven't seen them before, highly recommend. Their cars are paint. You can get their clothes at Zoomies, which is kind of reaching out of that YouTube sphere into like the zeitgeist, and it's just great. Their workwear is super good, super high quality. Every time I go into Zoomies, I go and see what I can find, but I'm a big fat guy and it's mostly sold out, so I'll get something cool one day. But like I said, if you haven't checked out Donut Media, you are absolutely living under a rock, and I hope this enlightens you to come out from under that rock. Now, speaking of Zoomies, Colette Davis, FD Racing, you got to know about Adam LZ. If you haven't seen Adam LZ's channel, once again, I don't know what you're doing on the internet. He's upwards of almost 3.5 million subscribers. I remember I caught a glimpse of his channel one time when I think he was under 1 million, but that was the first time I saw someone really get it was like a Nismo 370Z or 350Z. It was 370. And they were like, we've got this Nismo 370Z for like $3 or $4 grand. And I was like, what? And I don't know if it was his or someone else's, but they built it back up and it was great. But then he got a 370Z and he put like this giant twin turbo system out of the hood. Like, it was on top of the engine bay. It couldn't even have a hood. And he just took it to the drag strip and was blowing axles and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And he builds this amazing midnight purple something R34 GTR, which was just incredible. And now he's got the compound where he just can test cars on the fly, which is super cool. You just get to see him like, hey, we just built this super amazing car. Let's just go send it around the compound and do lap times. And, he's getting into Porsches and all this crazy stuff. And it's a channel where I'm just like, I can't wait to watch it. It's super amazing. Right now, he's doing an R32 off-road build, and it is just incredible. It's this lime green. He's got a roof rack on it. He's got the big fog lights. Like, he's just sending it through the back roads of Florida. And it's so cool to watch because you're like, where did this idea come from? You're just it felt like it was out of nowhere. Like, next thing you know, like, you're watching him drive his Porsche, and the next thing you know, he's like, we're doing an R32 off-road build, and it's going to keep up with those like safari Porsches. And I was like, that is such a cool idea because I love the safari build Porsches, like either Cayennes or the 911s. And listening to Matt Ferris say, oh, I just take bumps and do a donut and just keep going and take curbs, and it's just no big deal because it's lifted, it's got big tires, it's got cool fog lights. These things can go anywhere. And speaking of the Porsches, kind of off topic, but the Cayenne off-road builds, I just think are the coolest, and I would love to build one, drive one, have one. They're just the greatest. But if you haven't seen Adam LZ yet and you're into car content on YouTube, I don't know what you're doing. It's just such a missed opportunity, and it's such a great channel. I really, really hope you enjoy his content as much as I do, and we'll get on to the #1 content creator on YouTube here in a second. Now, if you don't know, you better talk to my man Nice, because it is Jimmy Oaks who has taken our #1 spot. Jimmy Oaks is awesome. Like, he's got such a wide variety of cars under his belt at this point. He just did a wide body 911. He's got the FC RX-7. He's got his 240s, his S13s, 14s, 15s. It's all great. And when Jimmy has all his homies together, you can just tell, like, they're all just so psyched to be working together and hanging out, and it makes you feel like you're one of the boys who's just like going to the shop. Like, he's got his buddies that come over and they just like, oh, Jimmy's tearing apart a car, let's go. And they all just jump in, and it's this big event. Everybody looks like they're having this super great time, and he has this like super great community around him, and he's only got a little bit over 500,000 right now of subscribers, which, you know, big picture is a lot of subscribers, but like, he definitely deserves a lot more. He's just doing such cool things. He's traveling all over with the LZ World Tour. You know, he's building cars, he's importing cars, he's flipping cars. I mean, the only thing he doesn't have at his fingertips right now is like a paint booth, but I mean, he's got his guy Spoon there who can do a paint job if he really needs him to, but you know, it takes a lot of time away from him in the shop, and you know, a lot of his peers do great work. Like I said, Spoonie's doing all those great welds. Jimmy's got all these great ideas and putting all these great cars together. And this shop just looks like a super cool place to hang out, and like everybody seems to love to be there. And that is just such a good vibe. So I think it's like what, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays videos come out, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, something like that. But either way, such a good time. I think Jimmy's getting into the FD scene right now. They're tearing apart an S13 or 14 to make it into a pro car, which like I'm just like on edge for, because I want to see that happening so badly. I just think Jimmy's one of the coolest dudes on the internet right now, and talk to him nice. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel, subscribe to his Patreon, all that good stuff. Go buy some of his merch. I just highly recommend Oaks Garage to anybody and anywhere who's getting into car content on the internet, because it's such a vibe, and it's such a good time watching his videos. And hey, it doesn't get much better than that when it's coming to content. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's so controversial about this list? Well, everybody's got their own opinions, and to be honest, mine's probably not one of the best ones, but I love all these channels. Like, it's a weird thing to say, but they're so fun to watch. I hope this list was entertaining, because it wasn't just like this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Because if you take a step back and you look at them, they're all very different in their own right. Some are more structured and have more of a production style. And like I said, our final guy, Jimmy Oaks, is very like, I don't want to say vlog-ish, but it's kind of him just talking into a camera. It's what I think YouTube is, I don't want to say supposed to be. Because if I wanted to watch like curated content, I'd watch television. But, you know, I think these channels really embody like the creator trying to get out there and do these special things and make these great cars and, you know, enjoy a lifestyle around the automotive industry. And that's really, I think, all you can ask for when it comes down to it. So if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope 2024 is the year we make it to monetization for the Disguised Horse, and, you know, hopefully we can get a great build in here and, you know, do our own thing here in the garage, because I'm always here to have a good time, always here to learn. And welcome to 2024. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We got a lot of great content coming for you this year, and we'll catch you later. Peace.